Welcome to the CherryPurls podcast. This is episode 2. Welcome to any new viewers that are watching us for the first time and anyone that's a returning viewer. Thank you for coming back.
Yeah.
We're happy to have you join us.
We got a lot more subscribers than I thought for just one episode. We really appreciate it. So,
I'm Mary.
And I'm Robin. And we're coming to you from right outside New Orleans, Louisiana.
Go ahead. You can find us on Ravelry. I am Snippin' Full on Ravelry. And on Instagram, I am My Angry Orange Cat.
You can find me on Instagram and Ravelry as Teeny Button. And you can find my Etsy shop, Teeny Button Studio, on Etsy.com, where I sell project bags and hand-dyed yarn. So you want to go right into finished objects?
Sure. You go first.
I don't have any.
Oh, then I'll go first. I'm wearing one of my finished objects. This is the rose water I showed last episode. I did finish it, and I had enough yarn. I was worried that I was going to run out of yarn, and I didn't, and actually had enough to give Robin a mini. And
maybe you can get one more out of it.
Oh, I don't think a full
maybe a
mini,
small one.
but
for
yeah,
a small square.
I don't know why I thought it was going to run out. But anyway, here it is. I love it. It blocked beautifully. On the long side here.
You stretch it all the way up?
Well, it won't. I don't think we can.
That way, and then move it this way.
Yeah.
It's big.
Yeah.
Trust us.
I like showing the lace across the bottom.
Yeah.
I really like how the lace blocked out. I mean, when people look at knitting, they think it's hard, but I mean, these are just knits and purls.
And drop stitches, huh?
And drop stitches, but again, it's still a knit, and then you push the extra yarn that you made in a yarn over off the needle, and so that is what makes the big holes, and I love it. And I was able to block the garter stitch out.
Let's get that closer.
Because I'm oh yes,
sorry.
Cat fight. I don't like garter stitch unless it's blocked out, and I was able to stretch it
And
like I
it's
thought
so
and block it like I
stretchy.
thought, and I love it. I love the color, and it turned out great. So this will be one of my entries in several shawl cows.
Which ones?
The Book of Stitcher, Andre Sue Knits, and then the reason why I chose the color was because I'm participating in the Bakery Bears Choose Your Muppet Cow, and my Muppet is Kermit.
So what's the yarn?
The yarn is
Madeline Tosh.
thank you, Madeline Tosh Sock in Jade.
Oh,
And
so pretty.
it's really pretty. It's nice and tonal, and I love it.
So
It turned
it's
out really
done.
well. My second 2 FOs are, thank you, are felted nesting bowls that I made. Oh, I forgot to mention, the rose water shawl that I made is by Janina Callio, and you can find that pattern on Ravelry. Okay, the next 2 FOs that I have are felted nesting bowls. They're actually going to be used as bird nests for bird sanctuary, and not necessarily bird sanctuary, maybe wild animals, squirrels, baby bunnies. When they rescue babies, sometimes they need like a little nest, and so I'm going to send these off. This is some wool that I had that I wasn't planning on doing anything with, and I usually try to keep something that I knit for charity on the needles. My usual go-to is hats, but in this case, this is pretty much like a hat.
Where is a hat? You need to wear yours.
Okay, and so I thought I would do these nesting bowls. I have one more on the needles. I had 2 skeins. Obviously, I had a green and a purple, so the third bowl is going to be solid purple. And the green is, let's see, where is it?
Just like Patton's wool?
Brown sheep, nature spun worsted in a limestone color. And then the purple is Patton's North America Classic Wool worsted in the royal purple color.
And they're felted so that like little claws and stuff don't
Yeah,
get caught in stitches.
They're knit double. You knit with 2 strands together, and then once it's completed, to make it even more sturdy, you wash it in the washing machine and with hot water, and put some other fabrics in there with it, and the action of the hot water and the friction will felt the stitches together to where it becomes a more solid fabric. So as soon as I get the third one off the needles, I will send those on to a rescue.
Where are they going? Do you have a rescue?
There's a rescue in Mississippi that I'm going to send it to. I think it's called Wild at Heart.
Mm.
There is a listing of sanctuaries online, and I can put that link in the show notes in case anybody's interested in doing any type of nest or something like that. There's a couple of people that are doing, if you want to do it as part of a cow, there are a couple of people that are doing charity cows for the year. I know Yonder Woman is one who's doing
Geeky Girls Knits, or Geeky Girls podcast. Are they doing one?
I'm not sure.
I think they are.
But there are several people that are doing them if you like to participate in cows. But if not, like I said, I like to have something that I donate to charity on the needles. And right now, it's the nest. Okay.
Is that all for FOs?
Well, that's all for FOs. While I'm talking about that, kind of leads me into whips because I can show you the other nest.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. This is in one of the bags that Robin has made. I love the llamas.
I like the contrast fabric you picked.
Yeah, this one. So this is the last nest that's on the needles. Oh, that keeps falling over. And I've got a couple more rows. You knit 25 rows, and then you start doing the decrease.
Are you using a pattern, or is it just...
This is a pattern. The pattern is called Felted Nesting Bowls by Alice Thelma. And you can, again, find that on Ravelry. And I'm using size 10 needles. So it's knit on a pretty large gauge. And I'm doing it magic loop.
And these are Knit Picks needles, huh?
Yes, these Knit Picks, my interchangeables.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like metal needles, so almost all the time they're going to be metal, not wood.
And for the finished bowls, it looks like you rolled the rim down. Did it do that, or did you roll it yourself?
Well, when you knit stockinette in the round, it always curls up.
Yeah, it just did that by itself.
Yeah, it does that by itself when it felts.
It's felted down.
Yeah.
But I like the edging.
Yeah.
It makes it a little more finished.
Yeah, so I'm going to knit on this some more today, and then tomorrow we're going to a baseball game, an LSU baseball game, so I'll bring this. I always bring knitting to the game.
And it's purple.
And I will finish this up, and yes, it
festive.
is purple.
Are you going to put it in
colors.
your purple and gold bag?
No, I have something else in my purple and gold bag. But anyway, so that kind of leads into from that to that.
So we're doing whips now?
Yep.
All right, so we both have a hoe, a half object this week. They're both socks, right?
Yep. They're both socks.
So this is my first of my Tea Party socks.
That's a pretty color.
I love it. Oh my God. This is Knit Picks Felici in the Tea Party colorway. And
turn it so people can see your progress keeper, because that's cute.
My ice cream progress keeper broke, and I haven't gotten around to fixing it. So I found this little, what is it, like a strawberry shortcake? Some sort of strawberry cake.
Yeah.
I found that charm at Michael's, and so I just made it into a progress keeper. So I left it in there. I haven't used it on the new sock yet. But this is my basic toe-up sock pattern. I cast on 12, increase to 68, knit into the heel, fish lips kiss heel, and then knit till it's long enough with 2x2 ribbing. And I knit my socks on size US 1 needles, which I think is a 2.25 millimeter. And then the white is some of my undyed Feets sock base, which is a merino nylon base.
They're really pretty.
I really like them. I haven't woven in the end yet because I literally finished these at dinner last night. So that's the first one.
Nice.
And then I have the second one. I have maybe 5 rows.
Oh, it's a baby sock.
It's so cute.
It's a tiny toe.
So these are, is it Chaigu or Chowgu?
Chowgu, I think.
These are size 1 Chowgu. They're lace.
Yeah.
Lace needles. And they're really sharp, but not in a good way. Because I have high sharps. And those are really easy to cable without a cable needle with because they're so sharp. But
excuse me,
these are so sharp they poked holes in my fingers, but they're not good for cabling without a cable needle.
They're really, really sharp.
Yeah, but they're not tapered. They're just sharp at the end. But that's what I've got. Hardly anything. But
no, it's a start.
It's a start, yeah. Something to work on while I'm at work.
Yeah, so, Robin's able to knit at work.
Yeah, well, I work in a I work on campus in like a work study sort of job. So if there's nothing to do, they let me knit. So most students watch TV or work on their homework, so it's not like It's not like I'm doing anything bad.
No, I think I would be knitting on socks too.
Yep.
Much better than watching junk on TV.
I know.
Got pretty stuff.
Yeah. All right, you go.
Okay, I also have a hoe, and a hoe is a half-finished object. Here we go. I like short socks. I'm not a long sock girl. And so I finished this last night. Why can't I put it in frame? This is on Jinx Yarn Strong Sock in the House Cup color. So the colors of the sock correspond with the 4 houses at Hogwarts. Hogwarts. Gosh, really? And so what I tried to do is the yarn obviously started over here with Gryffindor. And I wanted to knit until I finally finished the last house, which is Hufflepuff.
So you got a full
So
repeat.
I got all of the houses represented the same number of times. But I didn't want to go up too tall because, I'm not a long sock girl. So this was knit on size 1 needles. I used to knit on size 1.5, so 1.5s. And I thought the socks were a little on the big side, so this time I tried going down to 1s, and I do like the fit of this.
Did you use the same stitch count?
I use the same stitch count, which is increasing up to 64 stitches. I use a rounded toe that is by Tanya Murray, and and a Fish Lips Kiss Heel by Socks Therapist. And I absolutely love this heel, and I love this toe.
I love this yarn. I have a thing, we're both Ravenclaws, and I have a thing about people that do Ravenclaw yarn or project bags or any sort of merchandise that has the movie colors. Because in the book, the colors are blue and bronze. And in the movie, the colors are blue and silver, I guess, so they would show up better on screen. But I'm a book purist. I didn't even want to see the 8th movie because I was scared it would ruin my interpretation of the book. So I love that it has the book colors. Now I sound like a snob, but So I appreciate that. Thank you, Jinx, for dyeing it with book colors.
And I have been knitting these in my Suburban Stitcher bag. She showed that she had made an LSU bag. She is also an LSU alum. And,
LSU Progress Keeper or Zipper Pull.
Yeah, I've got a tiger
LSU.
and LSU on it. And so she had posted or commented on her podcast that she had some extra fabric. And so I contacted her and said, I will buy that second bag from you.
What's the inside fabric?
The inside's really cute. It looks like it's like graph. It's like graph paper with numbers on it. So like somebody doing some sort of
like you're studying at
accounting.
LSU.
Yeah, like. But I did not study anything to do with numbers.
Why don't you explain what these are? Because I think these are a really cool idea.
This is what I put on all of my bags. It's like a little badge holder. And what I do is because if I have a lot of projects and going on the needles, I forget what's in each bag. So I made up these little things that tells me what the pattern is, tells me what the yarn is, and what needle I'm using. Because sometimes I'm looking for a needle size and I'm like, okay, what project are those in? And so this way, without having to go through all the bags, I can look on the outside and knowing exactly where the project is I'm looking for or where the needles are in case I want to move those onto a piece of scrap yarn or some sort of holder or something like that. And so, that's what I use these for.
You just get these at Michael's, huh?
No, this I actually get at Office Depot. And then the jump ring that I have it on, the split ring actually that I have it on, that I can.
And do you just make the little printouts yourself?
Yeah,
or is there a template?
I just printed that out on the computer using Word. But my second sock is in the bag, and I have already turned the heel. So
because you knit them 2 at a time. No, you didn't want to 2 at a time. Yeah.
I knit them 2 at a time, but not on the same needle. So. I do all of my socks this way. I did try knitting them 2 at a time, doing magic loop, literally on the same needle, and I just found it too fiddly.
It's very fiddly.
And so that's just me. I know some people can fly doing that like Nina, but it's just not for me. But I do enjoy knitting them both at the same time. So usually what I'll do is I'll cast on and knit the first one until I get up to the 64 stitches, and then I'll do the second one, and then I'll knit on, one sock to a certain point, and then I'll switch to the other one to the certain point. And doing stripy socks is really great because then I can say, well, I'll do a full color repeat, and then I'll go the other. And then once I get to the heel, I do the heel on one, and then I do the heel on the other. So that's just kind of how I do it.
And when you're done, you're done.
When I'm done, I am done. So I'm almost to the ribbing on this one. So these will definitely be finished this week. Because I started the ribbing on this one on the green, and I am on the green here.
Are you doing the box of socks, Cal?
I plan to do the box of socks, Cal, but I actually have not jumped into the thread yet. I've got to see.
Have you got your box?
I've got my box. It's not decorated yet, but I've got till the end of the year to do that. But one of my February socks went missing, so I kind of need to see if I can find that one or knit another one. So
It's got to be somewhere. You didn't wear them out of the house.
no, they're in the house
And
somewhere.
you have enough yarn to knit another one because
I
you knit the
do.
short socks.
Because I knit the short socks, I have enough yarn to do a second one, but I'm kind of hoping that that sock will show up because I knit short socks. I actually can get 2 socks out of a skein of sock yarn if the second sock I use contrasting toes and heels. So I'm kind of hoping that the other one shows up.
Well, you know, the second you finish the third sock, you're going to find the one that was missing. That's how it works.
That's how it works.
That's how it works.
Yeah, so I'm delaying.
Yeah.
What you got?
So this is my sweater. This is in my Knitted Purl It Love It bag.
I love that bag.
And then I have my button that I got on my swap from last week. I don't remember where I got this bag at Knits by Nana, but it doesn't have a tag in it, so I'm not sure where it's from. But
And Knits by Nana is in Baton Rouge.
Yeah, that's our preferred yarn shop towards that direction. So this is my sweater.
This is gorgeous.
Oh, I dropped a ball of yarn. Hold on.
Yarnscape.
So I finished the body. It's friggin'
You got
huge. Yeah. There it goes this way. Well, let's show the back. The back's prettier anyway. So this is the back. And I have this much done of the first sleeve.
And second sleeve looks
Non-existent.
like, yeah, you've just got it on the waist yarn.
Yeah.
You started that.
Yeah, so I'm knitting elbow length sleeves. So this is about maybe a third of the way, and I just did this in about an hour or two last night. So I can probably finish the sleeve today or tomorrow, and then get 2 days on the next sleeve. And then
I don't know if you can. Yeah, I guess you can. What I like about this is how the pattern comes down the sleeve. I think that is so pretty. Here, turn it onto the front. You can really see it well too. See how the pattern comes down the sleeve? And then that's just so interesting.
it's done with a yoke. Every other top-down sweater I've ever made has been raglan shaping, where you start decreasing from the top, like from up here. Increasing, not decreasing. Increasing for the sleeves from the top. But for this one, you do the yoke just back and forth, and then you start increasing this way. Start increasing right here near the armpit.
Did you make any modifications to the
Oh,
sweater?
I did. So I have a really bottom heavy sort of shape. So I knit it normal in the second to largest size, and then after the waist shaping,
About right here, you can see where.
yeah, I took my hip measurement and I divided it by the number of stitches I got per inch, and then I multiplied that by the number of increase rows I would have to do. So I added, I would say about 30 extra stitches.
Just to give a little flare at the hips and
Yeah, that way it'll button, because I have problems sometimes, especially with store-bought clothes, with them buttoning over my hips, because my upper body is much smaller in terms of like proportion to my lower body.
pear shape.
Yeah. So
That's
I did that.
gorgeous. And
What?
maybe I should wear that with my rose water.
Yeah, well, it's too close. You'd be too matchy-matchy.
Oh yeah,
It'd be too matchy-matchy.
Yeah.
So,
so pretty. Color.
I'm still on track to get this done for the DFW Fiber Fest, I think. It's very heavy. My arms are getting tired holding it up. So I just have to do this, probably 2/3
So
of
you
this
gotta go
sleeve.
like maybe to right here.
Maybe more. Maybe like right below elbow length.
Okay.
And then the sleeve, and then I'm probably not going to do as long of a button band as the pattern says, because it's actually a little bit big on me, and I don't want it to be too loose. So I might just do a couple rows of ribbing for the button band instead of the number she calls for. But this is the Yellow Brick Road Cardi by Ella Torrente, knit in Malabrigo Rios in the lettuce colorway. And I'm halfway through ball 5 out of 6. So I think I'll have enough, hopefully.
And this is part of your Mal
Oh,
March?
yeah, Malabrigo March. And also, Mina's doing a sweater along.
Mina
A
is?
sweater knit along. So I'm going to enter in that.
Yeah.
And I think she's co-hosting it with someone else, but I can't remember who else.
She is, and I don't remember.
Yeah, I don't
who else
remember.
either.
But the person co-hosting it is only co-hosting it to the end of the month.
Oh.
So I'm going to finish it by the end of the month so I can enter it into both. And also, it's for winter camp because I need to do something green this month. And
Which was mine.
Yeah. If I use 6 balls of this, and they're 100 grams each, and 50 grams of worsted weight is 9 points, it's going to be
I'm not doing math.
over 100 points. Math is hard.
I'm not doing math.
So it's going to be a lot of points plus the 20 bonus points. So
For having the color green.
yeah, the color green. So that is that.
That's very, very pretty.
I love Malabrigo.
Now you have to chase the yarn down.
I know. Pearl's going to come over here and play with it.
She will. My last FO is in another bag.
Yep, you said it.
My last whip is in another bag that Robin made for me. It is in the TARDIS. Exploding TARDIS from Doctor Who. This was one of my favorite episodes with Vincent Van Gogh.
Oh,
It was,
makes me cry.
It was
Vincent and the Doctor.
excellent,
Series
excellent
5.
episode. And what I have going on the needles here is a pair of fingerless mitts. I went through a serious fingerless mitt phase a couple of years ago, and I haven't knit a lot since then. And again, I knit these to a certain point, and then I start the other one. So this one, I always knit them, and I don't finish the thumbs. I finish the thumbs at the same time, so in case I do any modifications on picking up extra stitches or whatever, I do them the same.
It's kind of tight.
It's
It's ribbed.
Yeah, it's ribbed.
Is it-
I've knit it before. I think I should have gone and looked at my notes. It's knit on a size 4, and I think the ones I knit before did on a 5. So they are a little on the tight side, so if I knit them again, I'd go up a needle size. So this is one. And then this is the second one. I've got to do a little more ribbing before I separate for the thumb gusset. And this is knit on Cascade 220 paints in the color 9825.
Very creative.
There isn't a number a name that's associated
I don't
with that
know
number.
why they do that.
I like the names of yarn.
I'm more likely to buy a yarn if it has a fun name.
Yeah.
I don't know. Someone needs to tell Cascade that.
Well, I don't think Cascade cares because Cascade gets plenty of business without
Well,
having the yarn's
yeah.
name.
I'm gonna write an angry letter.
Yeah. So anyway, that's all of my whips. I've got some socks. I've got another bowl. I've got the fingerless mitts. And the next thing to cast on will be the 3-color cashmere shawl that I talked about last week, but I haven't done that yet.
So you're gonna finish your socks today, probably.
Socks will be done today. The nesting bowl will be done sometime. Well, the knitting of it will be done sometime this weekend. I'm not sure when I'll get it felted. And I'm going to also, once I finish the socks and the bowl, I'm going to work on the mitts and start the shawl. So, yeah.
Because you're close to finish on a lot of your stuff.
Yes, but I'm also going to cast on a pair of socks because we're going out of town, and the socks are what I want to take with me to knit at baseball games because we're going to spring training in Florida.
We'll talk about that at the end.
Yeah, and I always bring socks.
Yeah. You want to throw me something, mister?
I have nothing. I bought nothing this week because I'm saving up for DFW.
Yeah. I have stash, but it's not yarn. I mean, it kind of counts, right?
Yeah,
Okay.
well, it's you got thrown something.
It
You
counts.
threw it to yourself.
All right. So I got my buttons for my sweater.
Yeah, you talked about this last week. Those are pretty.
They are by Craft Me Crazy. I'm covering up her information in case she doesn't want her phone number out there. Craft Me Crazy on Etsy. And she has a lot of different buttons, but I really liked these. They're wooden buttons, 3/4 inches. They have like a little bit of navy blue and some lime green, and I think they'll go really well on my sweater.
And is that like a little vine or something?
Yeah, it's like a branch or like a vine.
Oh, that's really pretty. And that goes with the green. So it's almost like there's your little tree branch and your green leaves. And
Yep.
Perfect.
So there's those. And then I got some books. Amazon recently changed their shipping policy, huh?
Yeah, I wasn't
Yeah.
happy about that.
But you still get free shipping if you buy, 25 or
Yeah, if you get $25 worth of books, then you can get free shipping.
Yeah.
But regular shipping has now gone on to up to $49, which, yeah, okay,
Amazon.
I'm done.
Okay, so I got the new Knitlandia book by Clara Parks.
Have you started reading it yet?
I read the first chapter.
I hear it's a lot of fun.
Yeah, it's really interesting.
So what's it about?
It's about different places she's been, talking to, knitters and people in the industry. The first chapter is about a lady who does naturally dyed yarns in New Mexico, and it's really funny because the lady has a lot of personality. But I'm sure you guys have seen this book around. It just came out. It was on the New York Times bestseller list, I think, which is awesome. Second knitter lady ever to be on the New York Times bestseller list. So I got that, and then I got Knit to Flatter by Amy Herzog, right?
Yes.
Yeah. She does the custom fit sweaters, and I have her other book, Knit Wear Love, I think. And this book was really helpful whenever I was making the modifications for my sweater. And she has some patterns in here, but I think mostly it's sort of like an instructional book.
Does she talk about what types look better on what types of body and things like that? Because, I mean, very few people can wear anything and it look perfect on them all the time.
Yeah, so like she shows how to find your shape and what looks best on your shape and how to flatter different parts of your body. So it's really interesting. And I've used a custom fit pattern. I never finished it. But the whole idea is really, really smart.
Yeah, she's got a website where you can measure yourself and then go in and put your pattern in, and it'll tell you how you need to, add or subtract stitches.
Well, you put in your gauge, and then you put in your measurements, and it does the calculations for how close you want it fit and what kind of sleeves you want, what kind of neckline. So it's very cool. And then the last book I got is Respect the Spindle by Abby Frank-Wilmot. Hope I'm saying that right. You can see the reflection. I am going to be taking a class with her at DFW, a spindle spinning class. So I thought I'll be a nerd and I'll get her book and have her sign it because I'm a huge nerd and I love signed books.
Yeah, and you want to learn more about spindle spinning.
Yeah.
And so this will kind of get you, geared up for your class.
Yeah.
And if she discusses anything from the book in the class, Robin will know what she's talking about.
Like a big know-it-all. It's really interesting. She grew up in Peru. Her parents studied textiles, I think.
Oh, how cool.
And so that's where she learned. And they spin yarn on spindles for rug weaving. It's really interesting. And there's also a DVD that goes along with it, but I didn't buy the DVD. I figured 3 hours of in-class instruction is probably better than a DVD. So that's it. That's all I have for stash.
Or throw me something, mister.
Yeah.
So the last part will be Lanap, and that's just all the extras, or a little something extra. We weren't sure what our recording schedule was going to be. We're probably going to go, every 2 weeks?
Yeah, but we have a lot to talk about.
Yeah, but I have some upcoming trips planned, and today is Saturday the 19th, March 19th. So next weekend, my husband and I will be going to spring training in Florida. We're baseball fanatics and going to go watch some spring training games. And then the following weekend, Robin and I will be going to DFW Fiber Fest.
But you're going to be hitting a yarn store in Florida, huh?
Yes. We talked about this last time. Anytime we go out of town, one of the first things we do, if not the first thing we do, is check to see
plan our trips around where the yarn
stores are and what are the good ones, and go on Ravelry and see if there's any local groups and who are they recommending, what's the do not miss shop. And there's a really good yarn store in Sarasota, and I'll be hitting that.
I hope they're open. We went to Dallas in 2014.
Oh, I'm positive, because you know who's there this weekend?
Huh.
Susan B. Anderson's teaching a class this weekend. So I know they're open.
We went to a shop in Dallas, and I cannot remember the name of it.
We tried to go.
We drove 45 minutes, and we got there, and it had closed like 2 months before.
Yeah, well, that's my fault. Blame it on myself. I did not do good research. I'd heard a lot of good things about this shop, but I guess my information obviously was old.
Yeah.
So, but no, I know the store is open.
Okay, good.
And, gonna pick up some yarn. Sometimes when I go out of town, I'll buy some yarn from the place that we visit. So, that's kind of like my little souvenir.
Yeah.
And lately it's always been sock yarn. So
you have a special Florida socks.
Yeah, I've got yarn, and I'll knit it. These are socks that I bought the yarn in Seattle, or this is the yarn that I bought in Chicago, and this will be my spring training socks or whatever it is I choose to buy. I'm not sure. I've been wanting to knit with some Quince & Co. yarn, and they do carry it there, so I'm going to check that out. I hear so many wonderful things about Quince & Co. And
I knit a sweater out of chickadee.
Yeah, you were telling me that.
And it's nice. It's really nice to work with. It's not the softest, maybe. I mean, it's not the softest.
Yeah.
But it's really nice to work with.
I'm going to go check it out. Robin and I, when we were up in Chicago, we happened to was it this past summer? No, this past summer. We happened to go right at the time when they were having the Chicago Yarn
We didn't
Crawl.
intentionally plan that.
We looked that. And so one of the stores, well, the only store we actually made it to, they actually have Brooklyn Tweed.
Windy Nitty, they were having a trunk show.
Yes, and we had heard a lot of things about Brooklyn Tweed, and we didn't love it. It was a little too rustic for us. But, that's what's so cool about yarn. There's something for everyone. There's rustic yarns, and then there's the luxury yarns with cashmere and Angora and silk and all that kind of stuff. So we'll see. That's what the plan is.
Yep. So, are you going to bring your baseball bag on the trip?
Yes, Robin Robin made me a bag that's got baseballs on it. So that is my spring training bag, and that will be the bag that I take to the game tomorrow. I will take the bird nest out of the bag that I have it in now. Well, no, I'll leave that one because that's an LSU bag. But when I go to the other baseball game, spring training, I will have my baseball bag and whatever projects in it. So, support the game and get some knitting.
Who's playing?
We're going to see several teams. I don't remember everybody. I know we're seeing Pittsburgh Pirates. I think we're seeing the Red Sox. We're seeing the Yankees. We're going to 4 games. I can't remember who all the games are. We went last year to Tampa, and we went to Steinbrenner Field, and then we went to the Toronto Blue Jays Stadium. And so we stayed a little more north. This time we're going a little more south and seeing the teams that are more southernly off from Tampa. And then 2 years ago we went to Arizona and saw the Cactus League game. So the plan next year is to go back to Arizona and pick up on those games.
And I can go this time.
We'll see.
Yeah,
maybe. Rob's upset. So one day we're talking, and she goes, "What's the best yarn store that you've ever been to?" And so I'm just like, And we went to this yarn store, and I wish I could remember the name of it. Actually, I know it's in my scrapbook because I'm a scrapbooker, and I always do trips. And so I'm sure I have it in the scrapbook. And that's like one of the best yarn stores I've been to. It was the one that we went to. I think it's in Scottsdale, but it was wonderful. And so, when she asked me and I gave her that was the answer, there was another really, really good one we went to in Tampa, but it's since closed.
Which one?
Gosh, you had to ask me that. I can't think of the name of it. Again, I can look in the
closed.
scrapbook.
Go anyway. I elected to stay home on the Arizona trip, and I regret it.
Yeah.
The one in Juneau was amazing. She was amazing.
That
Stains, I think.
That is the all-time best yarn store I've ever been to in a long time. But that one was also very sentimental, and I won't go into a long story. But let me just start off with saying I walked in the yarn store, and they were playing Sting. All right?
We like Sting.
Anytime Sting is playing, you're in a happy place. So when I walked into the store, and they're playing Sting, and the place is covered in yarn from the ceiling to the floor.
It was small, but it was packed.
It was packed. And the owner was so fabulous.
She was an angel. She was fantastic.
Yes. Yeah, that's my absolute favorite yarn store. And I would love to go back someday, but I think I'll probably have to take a cruise to get there because Juneau is not accessible by land.
Yeah.
But we'll see.
It's so strange.
Put it on the list.
Well, it's it's a little bit out of the way. But you think it's worth a trip to Alaska just to go?
Yeah. Yeah.
You know what I want to talk about? I want to talk about what we were planning to get at DFW.
Oh, okay.
Because I've made my list.
I've made my list, but I haven't looked at it lately.
Oh, okay.
I mean, first thing we did as soon as the vendor list came out, we were on it. We were on it, and we are looking at everybody's website.
Like, what's on your list? What's on your list?
Yeah. I'm planning on getting a lot of sock yarn.
Striping sock yarn.
Striped sock yarn. Really, really nice.
Mustache yarns?
Mustache is one of my bucket list yarns. And I will be getting some mustache.
I want to get something from Mustache. I want to get something from Tumbleweed Yarns.
Yes.
I want to get something from Savvy Skeins because she was super, super sweet and sent me some BFL sock as part of the Get Your Yarny Wishes granted. So I want to get something from her and patronize her shop. I want to get some bats because my fiber stash is looking really small.
Aww.
I have the Rolex I got last week, and then I have one more braid, and that's it. That's all I have.
Have you spun any? Did you do?
I spun one Rolex, but it wasn't enough to show. I didn't feel like taking it off my wheel. I want to get. Is it Diana Couture?
Yeah, Diana Couture.
She makes these bags, and they have a little open, like a V-shaped opening in the front, and the yarn comes through. It's like a project bag, but it's also can be used as like a regular bag.
It's got like a shoulder strap and everything. Yeah. It's really nice.
Yeah, and her prices are really reasonable, I think. Mm-hmm. So I want to get one of those. And I'll just see what else they have. You want to get some sock blockers, right?
I want to get some sock blockers. I don't have any. I used one of Robin's to show my sock off. I tried to make some DIY ones a couple of years ago, and I really want some that are kind of hollow on the inside just so they dry better. I don't really want the wooden ones. I know you do want a set of the
I just think they're really pretty.
They're really pretty, but I don't want to buy them just for decorative purposes. Yeah. And so I want to get something that does have some cutouts so that it helps to dry them whenever. Yeah. And I do want to get some more yarn. I typically will, when I buy yarn, I'll buy single skeins, not having a project in mind, but then a lot of times I find some shawls that I really love and I need more than a single skein. So I think this time I'm going to really look for some pretty yarn that's maybe 2 skeins worth. Maybe look for some tonals or some solids. I got a lot of variegated yarn, so if I run across a pattern that could use the variegated with a solid, then I can use that. But I'm trying not to buy any more variegated just because I have plenty of that. And it's hard to find a project that shows that off well. But yeah, I think that's about all that, and then of course there's the ever popular, I can't live without that you didn't know you needed.
Yeah, there's going to be some of that.
There's always some of that.
Yeah. So we're going to be there 3 days? Mm-hmm. 3 days? Mm-hmm. So I have a class Friday night, and then we're probably just going to shop and hang out the rest of the time. We don't have anything else planned. Well,
I'm on the wait list, so I'm still hoping to get into the 2 classes that I'm waitlisted for.
I wouldn't hold your breath. The Susan B. Anderson classes?
One's a Susan B. Anderson class, and one's a Rami Hill class. So, yeah, I'm not holding my breath for that, but I am definitely hopeful. It could happen.
Yeah. So, because of the 2 trips this next weekend and the weekend after, we're not going to record until for the weekend after. So the
second weekend in April, because the first weekend in April will be at DFW. But yeah, so we plan to record then, and we'll have lots of throw me something, mister, because we'll be buying some stuff, and because there'll be a little bit of a time between it, we'll have some finished objects, and
sweater's going to be done.
Yay, sweater! Well, yeah, you can.
Going to be done.
We'll try to take some pictures at DFW. I don't know if we're going to record, but we'll try to take some pictures just to kind of
put some video footage into it.
Well, that's if you can learn, you can figure out how to add that stuff in.
Because
I'm not the technical person.
My film editing skills are quite poor.
Well, we're recording this on Robin's MacBook, and so once you do it on that, I don't know if I can record it on my PC or fiddle with it on the PC, and neither one of us have figured out any editing on YouTube, so we'll play
with it. We'll see what happens.
We're still learning. Baby steps.
Yeah. So next podcast, second weekend in April, or first Thursday in April.
Yeah.
Because the 31st is a Thursday.
Yeah. We're going to try to go back to our Thursday schedule, at least for now, and until Robin gets out of school.
Thursday schedule. We've had 2 episodes.
Yeah, and then this Thursday, Robin's like, I'm not feeling it. So let's push it off to
I hadn't done
Saturday.
a whole lot of work on I got a lot of work done yesterday and Thursday, so I didn't have a whole lot to show. And I'm like, that's kind of boring. So, and plus my books hadn't come in. So this way I have more stuff to show. But we'll have a lot of stuff to show next time. So thank you again to everyone who's coming back. Thank you again to all of our new viewers. And we hope to see you soon.
Bye.
Bye.